I made my family disappear.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're catching up with the main cast members of the Christmas classic Home Alone.
Well, if the kid's there, the parents gotta be. He's home alone.
Number 10, Kieran Culkin.
I don't want a super Fuller. You know about him. He wets the bed.
It used to be a fun fact that Fuller, Kevin's cousin prone to bedwetting, is Macaulay Culkin's real-life brother. Now it's a fun fact that Fuller is played by Roman Roy. Home Alone was the younger Culkin's first movie, which led to further supportive roles throughout the 90s, like the Father of the Bride series. He's made more of a name for himself in recent years, starring in films like Scott Pilgrim vs. the World.
Hey, Jimmy, do they rock or suck?
They have not started playing yet.
It's a test, Jimmy.
1, 2.
You passed.
However, he's also shined in HBO's Succession as the immature yet lovable Roman Roy, which earned him a ton of recognition and award nominations.
But he said that to be nice. What I think he meant to say was that he wished that mom gave birth to a can opener, because at least then it would be useful.
He also reprised his role of Wallace Wells in Netflix's Scott Pilgrim Takes Off.
I didn't care the first time you told me. Care even less now.
Number 9, Roberts Blossom. By the time he played Old Man Marley in Home Alone, poet Roberts Blossoms already had a well-established film career. Yet his portrayal of the lonely neighbor played a big part in the film's core message.
Deep down, you always love them. But you can forget that you love them. And you can hurt them and they can hurt you. And that's not just because you're young.
He followed the family film up with roles in Doc Hollywood and The Quick and the Dead. Sadly, Sam Raimi's Western would mark his last big screen appearance. After a few TV roles, he retired in the late 90s to focus on his poetry. He passed away in 2011 from cerebral vascular disease at the age of 87. Although he put out plenty of other works, appearing in a timeless holiday classic meant he'd be part of our lives for many more years to come. Number 8, Michael C. Morona. Among the many other child actors in Home Alone was Michael C. Morona. He played Jeff McAllister, the nicer of Kevin's older brothers, which actually isn't saying much.
Kevin, you're such a disease.
In addition to the 1992 sequel, Morona hit it big in the 90s when he landed the lead role in Nickelodeon's The Adventures of Pete and Pete.
But what none of them realized was that they were playing right into the razor-sharp claws of the international adult conspiracy.
Although he'd appear in a couple of comedies in the 2000s, such as 2002's Slackers, he'd find his true passion behind the camera. He's worked as an electrician on multiple film and TV sets, such as Apple TV's Dickinson series and Netflix's Marvel shows like Jessica Jones and Luke Cage. In 2013, he also began hosting a podcast with Pete and Pete co-star Danny Tamborelli called The Adventures of Danny and Mike.
Pete, I can't take this anymore. You've got to call it off.
No can do, comrade.
Number 7, Devin Rree. As Kevin's meaner older brother Buzz, Devin Rree got to deliver some hilariously brutal put-downs.
Don't you know how to knock, flemwad?
Many of us can relate to being tormented by older siblings, and Rree's Buzz is definitely a character we love to hate. Although his Home Alone role is perhaps his most well-known, Rree has appeared in many films. The 2010 saw him put out a lot of work, like 2013's Oscar-nominated Nebraska, 2016's ensemble comedy Masterminds, and 2019's crime drama Hustlers.
Your penmanship is really remarkable.
He also appeared on the small screen in everything from Amazon Prime's The Tick to Breaking Bad spinoff Better Call Saul. While the majority of his roles have been small, he returned to his most famous one in 2021's Home Sweet Home Alone on Disney+.
When I was a kid, my family went on vacation. We forgot my little brother, Kevin.
Since his nostalgic appearance in that role, Rree unfortunately made headlines for being accused of serious domestic crimes.
Former actor also not talking after a judge decided there was enough evidence to send the case to trial.
Number 6, John Candy. Canadian comedian John Candy is a legend, and little of that legacy has to do with his appearance in Home Alone. Candy plays Gus Polinski, a polka musician who helps Kate McAllister get home to her son.
No. But I did leave one at a funeral parlor once. Yeah, it was terrible, too.
The role saw him re-team with Home Alone writer John Hughes, who had directed Candy in 1988's Uncle Buck.
Take this quarter. Go downtown and have a rat gnaw that thing off your face.
But he had starred in plenty of other comedies prior. Following Home Alone, he appeared in movies like JFK and Disney's Cool Runnings. Sadly, Candy died of a heart attack in 1994 at the relatively young age of 43. He remains a beloved comedic actor to this day, and Home Alone is only a small piece of the joy he brought to many.
You'd give me a ride?
Sure we will. Why not? You gotta get home and see your kid.
A ride to Chicago?
Sure, it's Christmas time.
Number 5. John Hurd. Unfortunately, there are several Home Alone cast members that are no longer with us. John Hurd played Kevin's absent-minded father, Peter, in the first 2 films. Throughout the 90s and 2000s, he would mostly appear in dramas like 1993's The Pelican Brief and 2000's biographical art piece, Pollock.
There is a smile of love and there is a smile of deceit. I'm out.
But he'd occasionally show he could still flex his comedic chops with movies like 2004's White Chicks.
What do you mean broke? Like Martha Stewart broke? Or MC Hammer broke?
MC Hammer broke!
No!
His work began to slow in the 2010s. Hurd mostly stuck to TV guest appearances and supportive roles in smaller films, like 2018's The Tale, one of a handful of posthumous releases. He passed away in 2017 from cardiac arrest due to heart disease.
No kidding. What a funny guy. What else did you do while we were away?
Just hung around.
Number 4. Katherine OHara. As Kate McAllister, Katherine OHara delights as the fierce mother trying to get home to her son.
I'm desperate. I'm begging you. From a mother to a mother, please.
She was already a comedic talent by the time the film released, and she hasn't slowed down since. She has starred in multiple mockumentaries from director Christopher Guest, and voiced characters in popular animated flicks like The Nightmare Before Christmas and Frankenweenie.
When you lose someone you love, they never really leave you. They just move into a special place in your heart.
However, it's her role as Moira Rose on Schitt's Creek that has brought her legions of new admirers. In addition to being hilarious, it also rightfully earned her a Golden Globe and an Emmy.
Here's what you do. You just fold it in.
Okay, I don't know how to fold broken cheese like that.
And I don't know how to be any clearer. You take that thing that's in your hand, and you...
If you say fold in one more time.
It says fold it in!
Next, she'll star in Universal's Argylle from director Matthew Vaughn and reprise her role as Delia in Tim Burton's Beetlejuice 2.
A little gasoline, blowtorch, no problem.
Number 3. Daniel Stern.
All the great ones leave their mark. We're the Wet Bandits.
As one half of the Wet Bandits, Daniel Stern brings most of the comedy in Home Alone. His clueless nature and shrill screams never fail to get laughs. Marv is certainly the actor's most well-known role, but he still appeared in a string of comedies in the 90s, like the City Slickers series and 1998's Very Bad Things. Stern's output would slow in the 2000s, though he'd still make memorable appearances in movies like 2009's Whip It and the Netflix comedy Game Over, Man.
I call her Tums because she relieves my heartburn.
On the small screen, he has mostly stuck to guest appearances, like in Hulu's Shrill, but he joined the main cast of Apple TV's acclaimed For All Mankind during its 4th season.
Today, we take the next step towards a self-sustaining Mars colony.
Number 2. Joe Pesci.
And don't worry about your home. It's in good hands.
While he was mostly known for dramatic roles at the time, casting Joe Pesci as Home Alone's main antagonist was a genius idea. Pesci's engaging and angry delivery was a perfect fit for Harry, and led to some of the movie's most iconic moments.
Now you're dead!
He only appeared in a few more movies, such as 1995's Casino, before announcing his retirement in 1999. However, that announcement proved not to be permanent. After a handful of small appearances, Pesci came back strong with 2019's The Irishman, which saw him reunite with Martin Scorsese and earned his 3rd Oscar nomination.
If they can whack a president, They can whack a president of a union. You know it, and I know it.
These days, you can see him on Peacock's Bupkis, a comedy series co-written by and starring Saturday Night Live's Pete Davidson.
You're unhappy because all you do is try to make yourself happy. You should try to make somebody else happy once in a while. Do something for somebody, put a smile on their face.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. Macaulay Culkin. Having worked with him on Uncle Buck, John Hughes knew Macaulay Culkin would make a wonderful Kevin McAllister. Needless to say, he was right.
You guys give up, or you're thirsty for more?
The young actor is extremely charming in the role, which made him a hot commodity in the early 90s. After starring in major movies like My Girl and Richie Rich, Culkin would step away from acting until 2003's completely different Party Monster.
Can't even stay awake for your own movie. Not that it's your movie. You think it's yours, but it's really mine. All mine.
Since then, he's only appeared sporadically in movies like 2004's Saved and 2019's Changeland. On the TV front, it was great to see him pop up in HBO's The Righteous Gemstones and the 10th season of American Horror Story.
I love movies. They're my whole life.
No matter what he does next, we'll always enjoy spending the holidays with him.
Oh, Kevin, I'm so sorry.
Is Home Alone one of your yearly holiday watches?
Keep the change, you filthy animal.
Share your fond memories of the film in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more great videos. Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.